All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. An executive session was held in advance of this meeting to discuss personnel, contract, and other legal matters. If everybody could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'm looking for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any comments or questions? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Number 4 is public comments on agenda items only. Nobody's running to the microphone? All right. Next is minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the following minutes for August 9th regular board meeting and September 6th caucus meeting.
So moved. Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? Aye. Motion carries. Presentation, student reps.
Hello, I'm back again. So the start of the school year has been really well, I'd say, and I think a lot of kids are really excited to be back. So we're starting off with the Renaissance Fair. Our 9th and 12th graders are attending the Renaissance Fair on October 5th. This ties into the English curriculum, which deals with the Shakespeare's and the British literature of the Renaissance period. Our Principal's Advisory Committee met last week and will meet this upcoming week to discuss student initiatives. Fall sports are also underway, and our teams are working really hard. Girls soccer got first place in, I think, the Hamburg tournament last weekend, and field hockey won 6-1 against Shikellamy. And the other teams are doing really well as well. And the fall play is starting, and here's a clue. It's Clue. Roles have been assigned, and the kids are super excited to get started. Homecoming is September 24th. The event tent, the kind of like industrial big white tent that they put in the bus lanes last year, it's going to be back. And so are some food trucks for little snacky snacks. Tickets are $15, and I believe they can be purchased next week in the Hawk Shop. Student spirit is also really up. I know a lot of kids are excited for homecoming and for the various events that are coming up. They also enjoy the new cafeteria updates, which include new chairs, new tables, and a new floor. Mr. Funk's really excited about the new floor. Along with our turf field, a lot of students have commented on how nice it looks. And lastly, we are holding our club fair and homecoming pep rally on the 23rd of September. So things are going great and super excited to be here.
Thanks a lot. Is there any board members have any questions? All right. Moving on to finance. Looking for a motion to accept the treasurer's report and so A and B, and a motion to move the order of payments. Okay, so I need a motion first.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Is this one I said? I need to abstain from 7B, check number 7873.
I'm going to abstain from 7851.
Is it on your sticky note?
Do you have a sticky note on your thing?
It's right at the top.
Is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, next is personnel. We're going to move A through K.
So move.
Got a first? Do I have a second?
Second.
I want to comment on this.
Yes.
I will vote to approve this, but A4 with regrets.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other questions?
I need to abstain from 8B1.
Any others? All right. Hearing none, is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, next, I'm looking for a motion for recommend the board to approve Royer Bus.
All right, we're going to look to move number 9, a motion to recommend the board add Cindy Cutruff to the approved Roar Bus driver list. So moved.
Second.
All right, have a first and a second. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Looking to move number 10, general contracts, a motion to approve Field Turf USA Incorporated for the contract change order number 1 for the stadium project for track curbing repair at a cost of $21,758 to be paid from the capital reserve funds. So moved.
Second.
Have a first and a second. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Looking to move number 11, a motion to approve the MOU between Big Brothers Big Sisters program of the Capital Region and the Susquenita School District.
So moved.
Second. First and a second. Any discussion? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And now passing it over to Dr. Rubish for a Cumberland Perry Area Career and Technical Center update.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fry. Saw something this fall at Cumberland Perry. I don't know that we've ever seen it before. I remember 10 years ago when I was a counselor and mother fretting about whether her son would get into VOTEC. He was on the waiting list. And I said, don't worry about it. Everybody gets in after a while. That doesn't happen anymore. There are a lot of people on waiting lists who don't get in because it's just become so popular. People are realizing the value of a career in technical education. And that leads us up into the expanding of the programs, expanding of the building over there. That's coming up. It's going to come to a head this year. We'll have to make a vote on it. And I think, as I said before, all schools who participate over there at Cumberland Perry must vote positive on it in order for it to go through. And it's something we need to do. I also found out last time I was down there, they have a college and high school program. And I've talked to Dr. Fox and Mr. Funk about this, that college and the high school here, students can get reimbursed for these courses. And if they have it at Cumberland Perry, then our students will go down there. They want to take advantage of that program, they should too. So that will be on the Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation agenda in October, this one. And it leads us right into our next segue about the foundation. We have a lot of things going on. We got T-shirts coming out. The dirt will be here soon, hopefully in time for homecoming. We'll see. We also have you've heard all the talk about Wegmans not having bags anymore and Carnes. Well, the Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation to your rescue. We have these thermal bags to put your groceries in, or for Mr. Bart, I'm sure you have plenty of your favorite frosty beverage could go in there. And these are only 1 for $10 or 3 for $30. So come see me if you're interested in that. 2 months away from the race, the 5K. We got a lot going on these days. We're still working on the calendar for the elementary school, and I guess that's about it. I don't know. We're doing so much; it's hard to keep track of everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rubish. All right, next, looking at a meeting schedule there, just the upcoming caucus meeting on October 4th and the regular school board meeting, October 11th. Some information items and dispositions. Dr. Rubis, you need any of those things?
Let me take a look here.
Okay, look through there. Do you want to make a motion?
Some of them probably are my things I left behind here.
There's a trailblazer.
Is that really a car? I'm wondering.
Is that really a trailblazer?
Oh, okay.
Like,
She thought it was a Chevrolet Trailblazer.
listen, I was all excited.
All right.
Doesn't take much to.
Next up, administrative reports. Passing it over to Dr. Fox.
Thank you very much. Before we begin, just one point of clarification. We are going to have our first policy committee meeting prior to the caucus meeting on October the 4th. That policy committee meeting will begin, we'll advertise it, will begin at 5 o'clock and it will be here, and will continue until 6:30 prior to the start of the caucus meeting. So a special welcome back to our students. Thank you to our teachers and staff, to our bus drivers and administrators for a great first few weeks. It's been an exciting start. Thank you to our parents for your continued support as we partner together for the education and growth of our students. A special welcome to Leah and a welcome back to Taryn. We are excited for your valuable reports, your feedback, but most importantly, that your voice that you provide for the student body during the course of our meetings and during the course of the school year. A thank you to the board as we continue to work together for the support and the constant improvement of our facilities and creating opportunities for our students. So I'm extremely proud to continue to work alongside and with you. Congratulations to our student athletes on a great start. I'm excited for our inaugural season for our middle school cross-country program that just began and is underway under the direction of Mrs. Tracy Jones and Mr. Myron Shirosky. And the Commonwealth, through the Office of the Governor, announced universal free breakfast to students starting on October 1st. Therefore, students, we ask that you please utilize this opportunity and enjoy a nutritious breakfast before the school day begins. Thank you. At this time, I am going to turn it over to Ms. Snyder and Academic Operations.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just a quick update. We had a successful first 2-hour early dismissal for professional learning and collaboration. We held that on Friday, September 2nd. I just wanted to say a thank you to the board for approving those days in this year's school calendar. So we're looking forward to having our second early dismissal on, I think it's October 21st. And then also we are working diligently to plan our October 10th in-service for our staff. So you will hear more on that as we get those plans underway. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. We'll toss it over to Mr. Bard, Business Operations.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. I want to draw your attention to the Treasurer's report that you guys approved earlier. If you've noticed, the district invested $1.75 million from your fund balance into a collateralized CD that will attract about approximately 3% interest, which was significantly higher than what it was attracting in the bank account where it was sitting in. So that will, I talked about a little bit at the caucus meeting, so this is just in reference to the board members who were not in attendance at the caucus meeting. That should attract probably double the interest income that was that the fund balance was earning when it was just sitting in the bank account. So that will help alleviate some of the income that was missing, and hopefully alleviate some of the deficit that is looming in our budget. That's a long-term strategy for an investment strategy. While the interest rates will hurt us when we go to borrow money, it will help us when it comes to investing our money that is sitting in the bank accounts. Our partners at Mid-Penn Bank have also, was able to negotiate a higher interest rate on the money that was sitting there. When I got here, the interest rate was 0.15%. It has now risen to 0.49%. So it is substantially higher than it was. And as you know, our Mid-Penn Bank branch is in Marysville that we use. We also use the one in Duncannon, but primarily the one is in Marysville on Route 11. So that is our primary bank operation. Also, I want to touch base on anyone that we have a substantial need in the food service division. We have 5 openings. Nutrition Inc. is our contractor. So you would work for Nutrition Inc., but we have 5 openings, 3 at the high school, 2 at the middle school that we need filled. We also have a substantial need for bus drivers. Currently, every day they have to double up routes to fill due to a lack of manpower. So we're seeking desperately applications for, Aurora seeking desperately applications for bus drivers. So you can drive bus and then come in the cafeteria, work. When you're done working in the cafeteria, go back and drive bus. Obviously, this is not you would not necessarily work for the Susquenita School District, but you would work for Aurora's and Nutrition Inc., but you would help our students greatly. So this is something that is, as I oversee the food service and the transportation divisions, this is something that is desperately needed. Further, Dr. Fox had mentioned earlier about the free breakfasts that are coming. I was hoping that would be free lunches, but it's free breakfast, so we can't look a gift horse in the mouth. The students do not have to do anything to achieve these free breakfasts. I will work with nutrition to ensure that at the point of sale that all breakfasts will be free. I do not believe that we have to do anything internally to make that happen. I think that our reimbursement rates just get increased by the state. So when we file the claims, we just get reimbursed. The rates just get reimbursed. So there's nothing gets reimbursed at the free rate, like such as if we were at a CEP or community economic provisions level, which is what some districts are if they have free meals for everyone. So I'm thankful for the state to make this move, but I hope that, and I hope that we can get to the point where we're offering free meals to everyone so that all of our students are fed here at the school. As we saw during the pandemic, the nutrition is very, very key and very important, and I think that is something that could be moved forward. So I think that's really, all I have moving forward. I do have we have a kickoff meeting coming up with, we had a kickoff meeting with Crabtree Rohrbach, and we'll be moving forward in depth, and they will have a presentation for the board and the public at the caucus meeting coming up in the first Tuesday of October. With the next steps moving forward, kind of an introductory presentation, and then from that point forward, we will be having, as the board and the public sees fit, we will have meetings moving forward with the feasibility study moving forward. We're approaching this with a very open mind to see where we are, as some of our buildings are over 50 years old. So we're looking to see exactly where we stand as a district, both from an enrollment perspective, from a facility perspective, from a traffic flow perspective, and from an academic perspective. So this is an all-encompassing feasibility study. So we look forward to getting those results as well. So thank you, Dr. Fox. And I will pass it along to Dr. Tyler Herman, the Special Ed Director.
Thank you. All right. First, I want to say it's been great to see the students back in the classrooms, for sure. All that hard work that everyone has put in to get the year started the correct way it's been really good to see. And I think I might build a little bit off of what Mr. Bard was saying with some staffing vacancies within the special education department. We do have the speech and language, a school psychologist, a special education teacher, and of course, our paraprofessionals. So anyone interested in that, definitely reach out to us. But more importantly, we want to just reassure, obviously, that the families and our students that we're coming up with as creative ways as possible to continue to support all of those needs in the best way possible, despite the vacancies. So, we've communicated with, I don't even know, myriad vendors and local school districts, local IUs. We are doing everything that we can to make sure that the service is there, and that is a good quality service so that our students have the best overall experience that they can while they're in our buildings. I think that's pretty much it, so I'll hand this over to Mr. Quigley.
Athletically, Taryn did a good job updating those, and easiest way to follow our programs is on that SusquenitaBlackhawks.org. That's where we update schedules and scores and all those things. Homecoming is next week. We have home events all week long, so again, just continue to check our schedules and come on out and support our Blackhawks as we play most of our home games now in the evenings.
Good evening. It's good to see all the kids back in school. A lot of work was done over the summer. Still working. I know Christine's biting at the bit. We're trying to finish up the TV program that we started. That should be hopefully within a week or two. We should be done with all of them. The HVAC contract we had with the ESSERS grant for the middle school is going very well. Lots of changes. It's helping us a lot. We actually had a freezer go down the other day that we had an alert for, and we never had that before. And with the alert, it saved all the food inside, so that was a big, great help. Roofing project just started this week. They started on the middle school on Monday. They will start on the high school on the following Monday. Hopefully we'll get all those sealed up. And without ado, we need custodial staff also, so if anybody wants to work, go on the website and fill application out. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to be shifting gears here at the elementary. So we have had an excellent start down at the elementary. For me, it's been a different type of energy, but nonetheless a great spark of energy to start the year. We have a number of great events coming up. So to start us off, on September 16th, the PTO will be combining two of my favorite things and hosting a book fair and ice cream social. So definitely come out to that. That's at 6 p.m. And beyond that, PTO will also be opening up their school store very soon. So they'll be sending out more on that. And also a number of our other upcoming fundraisers. And just a reminder, our PTO funds our field trip 100%. So we are incredibly grateful for what they do with that funding, with our field trips, but also all the volunteer efforts that they do all throughout our school community. On the 29th, we have the Stephen Courtney concert. So we have events all throughout the day in school for the kids, and we also have a concert at night for our families to come and enjoy. So that'll be taking place at 6 p.m. in our large grassy area outside of the elementary school. And we do have a plan for rain. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, we're planning on moving it to the auditorium in the high school. On October 7th, we have our Fire Prevention Day. So that's our annual event where emergency vehicles come, and they set up a number of stations for kids to go out and get firsthand experiences with the vehicles, with first responders, learn about fire prevention, and all the critical roles for the first responders for emergencies. I just wanted to back up what Ms. Snyder said about our early dismissal. This was an excellent opportunity for all of our teams to get together, collaborate. Kind of our big focus was flexible seating in our classrooms, a lot of great conversations about creating learning environments for student collaboration, small group work, and student rotation models. Ann Borlinghouse has transitioned to our data and instruction specialist this year and is coming up with a community tutoring program called the Hawk Helpers. So what she's doing with that, she's kind of created a space to provide Title I resources for families and community members to actually take outside of the school to kind of act as a supplemental material for the kids. And so to participate in that, the only thing that's required is just to have a red badge to be able to come in and out. And to obtain that, you can find more information on our website. A big shout out to both our teachers, roars, and our families for how flexible they've been with our evening dismissals. We've fortunately been able to make a lot of great changes, and we've done a lot of great work going back and forth to improve that time. But I just wanted to say a huge thanks to everyone for the flexibility up until now. And just to jump on the opening strain, we're always looking for building subs, day-to-day subs, and parapros. So if you want to join excellent community, obviously we'd love have you at the elementary school, but any of the buildings, please just reach out and we can find a spot for you.
Good evening, everyone. In regards to the middle school, I can mirror what Mr. Fortalka said. We have had an amazing start to the school year. Very few issues, very easy transition. The students are doing a great job. Teachers are doing a fantastic job. To start off with our new staff, first I want to congratulate Mr. Page on earning a position as the assistant principal at the high school. He's going to be dearly missed. He's done a fantastic job at the middle school level, and we know he's going to do the same job up here at the high school. Also, we'd like to congratulate Mr. Albani, which is our building substitute, which is going to be taking Mr. Page's old spot as the 7th grade social studies teacher. He's done an amazing job for us in the past, and there's no doubt he's going to continue doing the same thing moving forward at the middle school. We'd also like to welcome Mrs. Ashley McMillan. She's a local resident. Students go here to the district, and I've heard nothing but great things about her, and she's going to be joining us as our 8th grade reading teacher. Last week, we held our back to school night on Wednesday, September 7th. It was well attended. We appreciate all the parents that came out and students as well to listen about all the great opportunities at Susquenita Middle School. We look forward to this night every year. To the parents that are listening now, we're going to be sending out a survey to kind of get your feedback from the program so we can better the back to school night for next year for you. So please provide us with your input when you get that survey. On Friday, Mr. Black and myself, we held class meetings. The counselors, the nurse, the student council, the yearbook advisors, and myself and Mr. Black got to address each grade level. We talked about expectations, we talked about goal setting, we talked about tips on being successful for the school year. This is something we're going to keep doing throughout the school year so we can engage and communicate with each class moving forward. Also this week on Friday, we're going to be working through our 3rd PBIS lesson of the school year for students. The focus this week is going to be on restrooms, and so far we have worked through technology and hallway expectations. As far as athletics go, fantastic start with our students at the middle school. Cross country is off to a great start. Basketball yesterday, I forget the score exactly, but I'm pretty sure we mercy ruled or hit the mercy rule with East Juniata for the 7th and 8th graders. The field hockey team, some 7th and 8th graders traveled to Central Dauphin East High School this past Saturday. They went undefeated, took first place, and also were not scored upon in the tournament there, so they brought a trophy home, and it's all posted to the website, or I'm sorry, not the website, the Facebook page. Here towards the end of the month, we're going to be having the best of the Blackhawks, and that is a group of students that are selected at the end of each month that have demonstrated and mastered the core value of helping others, which is the H&R Hawks. At the end of the month, the selected students will receive a certificate, and they're going to be invited to participate in a breakfast and have time to go and play games. And as always, please stay connected with us. We put out a weekly newsletter every week, and we also put a lot of updates on Facebook. Today, I think there was like 4 or 5 different updates, and tomorrow we plan on doing the same thing, so make sure you're connected with us. Thank you.
All right, so I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Dylan Page, and I am the new assistant principal here at the high school. Taryn did a fantastic job with updating you on everything that's happening here, so I have nothing else to say. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to thank everyone for a great start to the school year. Everyone's been extremely helpful and responsive to everything that I've had coming forward here. We started off the year with some great class meetings, setting up expectations with all the classes. Of course, that looks different through the freshman to the senior classes, the excitement of the seniors living the nervousness of the freshmen. So Mr. Funk and myself were able to set up those expectations and really get a good start going forward for the rest of the year. We held back to school nights last Thursday, and we had a really great turnout. I was really excited to see a lot of the people show up, and they were excited to be there for the first time in a few years. Kind of I don't want to call it post-pandemic, but post some of those things that have been restricted in the past. There's been a lot of excitement going into this school year that I haven't seen in a few years. Upcoming events, obviously the big one is homecoming. We're going to be holding a pep rally and a club fair to kind of expose the students to all the clubs that we're going to be offering, and that's going to be the Friday before the homecoming dance. And then on the 24th, that Saturday, we're going to be having food trucks, the tent that Taryn talked about as well, and music, and hopefully having a good time there. Another event coming up is the STEM Summit Day, which is the first time we've been able to hold that. since COVID began. So that's really exciting that they're able to bring that back to the students for 9th and 10th graders, and it's run by Junior Achievement, and it's going to be organized by Mrs. Murray. So she's done a fantastic job already. We got a lot of games, activities, lessons set up, and a lot of great volunteers already. I know she poached some of you to help volunteer for that event, so that's really great to see all of that. And the last thing, After School Study Center is going to be starting next week, so that gives students an opportunity at the high school to be able to meet with tutors after school. It's going to be held every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m., so students are able to sign up for that and get some of that academic help that they need. Thanks.
Good evening. I would like to thank the technology department for a great start to the year. Mr. Fleischer, Mr. Zabel, and our 3 teachers who help out tremendously. Mrs. Falzerano, Mr. Fisher, Mrs. Furworth, getting the tech ready for the beginning of the school year, answering tickets from family members, teachers, and students, and just making sure that everything is run smoothly. So thank you to them. And just one last thing, that I'm excited to see what our innovation coaches are going to do this year with our teachers, and see how they'll help transform learning. Thank you.
All right, next, 17 board reports. Is there any board members currently that wish to give any reports at this point in time? All right, seeing none. You gonna go? Oh, no. All right, next is public comments. Anyone wishing to speak to the board about any issues that were not on the current agenda. Please come to the microphone. Give your name and where you live.
Hi, my name is Gina Frisenda. I'm here from New Buffalo. I have a couple of matters here. First, I would like to read a statement regarding Coach Augie and his suspension from a parent who would like to remain nameless. As a new parent to the program, I cannot fully attest to the character of Coach Augie. I won't speak to things I am not 100% certain of, so I cannot tell you that any or all allegations are false. What I can tell you is how my son has adjusted to and felt as a part of the team. I can tell you that a parent who perpetuates bullying does not result in a team culture where all kids feel welcome, which my son does, 100%. I do know that a coach who perpetuates bullying does not lead a child having the full support of his team, even when he's messing up. I have witnessed firsthand the upperclassmen working to include underclassmen, working to make sure they feel supported, working to make sure they know what to expect. This is not what comes from a culture of bullying. Yes, these boys deserve a large portion of that credit. They are a class act of individuals. But the culture of the team also impacts that, and I have seen nothing to suggest otherwise. Beyond that, I am most concerned with the manner in which the situation has been handled. At best, it is inadequate. The boys being sent home yesterday with no practice and no explanation, while a cookie-cutter email was sent to parents, and some boys got rogue messages from their coaches, all while no one officially communicated with the team, is just completely wrong. Having a team meeting today was too late. Word had already spread. Boys are getting pieces of information. Boys are panicking. While these are high schoolers, they are still kids and deserve to be supported through this. We as parents couldn't even process with them because of a lack of a complete picture. These boys were left to stew on their own, and that is unacceptable. I'm not happy either. I've said that in my email. Where is the proof of the incident? Why were the kids not spoken to? How often did this occur? When was the first incident documented? And why weren't us parents notified? If our children were in danger of a dangerous bullying coach, why was the rest of the team not notified? I think it's complete bull. Has the board ever been to practice to witness how hard these boys work? The dedication and the love that their coaches give them? Have they been up there once? I don't think you have. And why now? Why now and not the end of the season? Why are you choosing to ruin and negate and break the hearts of these boys? Augie is their leader. He's not bullying. These boys have been coached hard before by my own husband, by Chris Kurtz, by Brian Waters, myself, Dave Prince. They have already encountered tough coaching. How dare you screw with these kids, these seniors? How dare you?
I have some papers that I made copies of for you guys because I'm going to just be paraphrasing some of this stuff that I have. I don't know if you could like pass that out, please. Hi, my name is Colleen. I'm also a varsity football parent. My son's a junior this year, and I am also here with a passion. Unfortunately, I'm taking a little different perspective where I would, as well as everyone else, like to hear everybody's side of the story. But I have a side of my story that I'd like to share. But I'll first tell you what these two things are since he's handing them out. The first thing, the top sheet, is the email that I sent to Mr. Quigley and Dr. Fox on Sunday during the day. The other one is just kind of a little list. I'll reference what that is in here. It probably won't make sense to you, but I'd be more than happy to clarify anything that's on it. It's just bullet points from a note that I had earlier, or a meeting that I had earlier in the season. They might not make sense to you, but please, I will answer any of those questions. Again, I'm just paraphrasing. On yours, you can see where I highlighted beside where I'm kind of going to be picking pieces from. I know I don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to take too much if I don't have to.
Excuse me, can you pass those out to us parents too so we can have them as well?
I don't know. Sure. I'd be more than happy for you to see it. Thanks. And I will also say that I am also a football mom, so I'd be more than happy to email any of this stuff to you. I'm just looking for resolution like everyone else here. Thank you. You're welcome, Gina. Wyatt is a 16-year-old junior this year, an honor roll student, a non-disciplinary concern, liked by his peers and teachers, a good member of school society, a dedicated athlete, and so much more. This same student athlete hold on. So, never mind. I apologize. This same student athlete feels defeated, broken, emotionally unwell, and less than. He feels constantly bullied and berated by his head coach. He is fearful of repercussions for expressing his concerns, even to us as parents. He is scared to go to practice and film for fear of being called a quitter or being publicly shamed for mistakes that have been made. Over the past year and a half, we've worked with our son on ways to mediate the situation between him and the head coach. We have taught him skills and tools to deal with difficult bosses because really in the grand scheme, I feel like that's something he can learn given the situation. He has attempted to have conversations with the head coach in regards to how he can better serve the greater good of the team. Continually, Wyatt has been respectful and has been compassionate to the requests that have been made of him. As time has gone on, the situation between Wyatt and the head coach has not improved. In fact, we feel as though we are going the opposite direction. Where progress has been made, we are starting to slowly slide back into the patterns and issues we had with past coaching regimes. So as a co-parenting unit, myself and Wyatt's dad requested a meeting with the head coach so we could just kind of discuss some things that we were concerned about, mostly the dynamic between the two of them. He returned our email quickly and respectfully, set up a meeting with us for the following day, which we appreciated the promptness on. He was right back to us. We were told during the meeting, we expressed to the coach our concerns regarding the situation at hand. When we left the meeting, we felt partially unheard and invalidated. We were told that all of the things we brought up did not happen, but I witnessed them. A lot of people did. There were spectators in the stands that Friday and Saturday yelling down at the field for coaches to stop screaming at our children. But still we have a meeting. We left the meeting hoping that maybe some positive changes would be made, as possibly he just didn't realize how he was talking to the kids. Fast forward to this past Friday evening, September 9th, Schuylkill Valley game. I watched my son on the track leaning over the fence, sobbing into his dad's shoulder in front of multiple administration of this school district, all unaware of the reason for his tears. In fact, Dr. Fox had kindly enough even made the effort to stop my son to check to make sure he was okay. Wyatt couldn't stop. He walked right by. He was inconsolable. Anybody that saw him knew that. He wasn't upset because he lost the game, not because he didn't play well. However, more so because he had that much fear and anxiety about going to the locker room post-game. He kept standing there saying to us, he's going to scream, his verbiage, and tell everyone I quit. The anxiety was his feelings of inadequacy and the fear of retribution for what was coming. No child should leave a game feeling like that. Degraded is the word that my 16-year-old son used this weekend. Degraded. I encourage you, all of you, to let that word sink into your head. He told me that he's never felt like a person makes him feel. He told me that he's never had a person in his life make him feel as poorly about himself, that no one has ever made him feel as degraded and useless as this coach has. He asked how transferring schools work so he could enjoy his senior year of football next year without feeling like he's being bullied. Our typical Sunday conversations are how Wyatt can get out of football practice on Monday, but I promise you he hasn't missed one. There is excitement when practice and film is canceled because they think it's one more day they're not going to get yelled at. And that's the general consensus, not just my kid. I'm just asking if this is the type of culture that we're building, one with wins at all cost, at the emotional and mental well-being of our kids. It's an ongoing problem. It's not a single child. There's multiple. Listen, in my letter, I would like to especially point out the last part. We are not asking for instant resolution. We are not on a witch hunt. We want this to be better. We want Augie to be better. He genuinely brings a lot of positive football knowledge to the table, but the delivery of that knowledge is clearly doing more detriment to our kids than it is good at this point. We want resolution. We ask that it's better. I'm not on a witch hunt. I don't want anyone. This is not what we wanted. We wanted help on mediating the situation. I did not create this. The coaching staff here, these guys did not create this. It has gotten out of hand and it's unacceptable, in my opinion. These people are my friends. I have helped raise their children, and now I'm a pariah because I'm standing up, and I'm going to continue standing up until somebody listens to me. Because it's not okay for my son to come home constantly feeling like this. I appreciate all of your time. And again, anyone that would like to ask any questions of me, I would prefer if it was after. I would be more than happy to answer any of those for you. Anyone. Thank you. I apologize, I didn't tell you where I was from. Duncannon.
Anyone else?
My name is Beth Mullen, and I'm from Duncannon. My son has played football since he is 5. I'm not here regardless of, I don't know what happened with Augie. I don't know if it did or if it didn't. The fact is there was no communication. We got a basic email sent out. My son thought he was sent home for storms. Obviously, there was no storms. Football was the only thing that was canceled. I later find out today through a football app that all of this is going on, that my child is being questioned due to an investigation. As a parent, why was I not informed of that? Who's questioning my child? Is it the board? Is it the athletic director? Is it the police? Can anyone answer that?
It'd be the school district administration, ma'am.
Okay, so where was the communication? Because I'm pretty sure my son's a minor.
Administrator,
so if you're questioning him for an
Ma'am.
investigation,
well, again, your son isn't being accused of anything, ma'am. So
I'm not
as
saying
as
that.
as administrators, we have the opportunity to ask questions to students.
I'm not saying he's being accused, but the fact that I knew nothing about this, just a basic email that he is being resigned or whatever, however you guys worded it in the email, and now it's this full-blown thing that many parents didn't know about. And I'm not okay with that. There was no communication.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Frank Stovall, volunteer coach for Susquenita Blackhawks. Right now, I reside in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Oh man, this whole situation I think could have been handled a lot differently. Being that I was on the coaching staff, I had no idea any of this stuff was going on. I got to drive an hour to come to practice every day, and immediately after practice, I go home, change clothes. I'm partially changed now to go to work because I work overnight. So getting rest is very limited in my life right now. The only reason I came back to Pennsylvania was to coach with Coach Augie. He taught me, because I was in Florida, living my best life, don't have to shovel sunshine, you know. Came back up here to the cold, to the pain, and the rat race, so to speak. Now, I didn't know most of this stuff was an issue, because when I got here, the first thing I said was, as a coaching staff, if there's a problem, we talk about it first, which never happened. We never had a coaches meeting. As far as I know, Augie didn't know much about it, as far as I know. So I know I knew nothing about it. You know I work with Wyatt. I love him. He's a great kid. I love him to death. I encourage him to do the best he can every day. But I never thought that this situation was going on, because when we're at practice, he doesn't show it to me. So I don't know what's going on. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I wish I would have known something about it sooner, that maybe we wouldn't be here right now. You know, because I talk to him every film when I come up. And I'm able to, if I'm not passed out from working overnight, I come here, I talk to him during film. One thing I can notice about Augie, he's very passionate about this whole program. He's very passionate about the success of his kids. He's never stopped working on trying to do something to help the kids succeed. And like every other coach I've ever been with, worked with, or even been coached by, passion is a thing that you can't teach. You either have it or you don't. If a coach isn't passionate, raising his voice, getting hype, he doesn't care about you. Like I said, I don't know about his relationship with Wyatt, but I know about his relationship with us and as a team in general. Everything he wants to he wants his team to succeed. And right now, he feels like, I can't even put in words how he feels because I'm upset about it. I usually don't speak on things, but this is something I felt I need to speak on because this is just a bunch of garbage, in my opinion. We could have handled this a whole different way. And like a lot of parents said, now the kids are getting involved. The kids shouldn't have to be involved in this. We could have handled this a different way. I got, captain reached out to me asking me if I was done coaching. I'm like, until the situation is resolved, yes, I am, because I want no parts of backstabbing. Being adults, we should be able to talk to each other. We should be able to come to a head. We have a problem, hey, you need to fix this. This needs to be done. Because I just talked to Augie. I talked to him Friday after the game, and I talked to him Saturday morning after I got off of work about things that I feel we need to work on. We need to have a meeting on Monday. But apparently this was already put in the works before that, so nobody knew what was going on. I can't deal with backstabbers. I can't deal with people that say they're going to talk to you about stuff and then go behind your back and try and take something from you, especially when he's the one that brought us all together. He's the one that gave everybody the shot. He's the one that's been taking all the heat for everything. Everything he does is under a microscope. He's constantly stressed out about, oh, I got to deal with this now. Oh, I got to deal with this now. I'm like, you don't got to deal with it alone. You got us. But since he's the head coach, he's the one that's always looked at. Because if we're talking about bullying, I've talked to a coach a couple times about stuff that he shouldn't be saying to a kid. I'm not going to put no names out there, but why isn't that being addressed? Why is it only focused on Coach Augie? That's just an issue that I have. And that's just very much all I really needed to say about it, because as adults, this should have been handled a different way. Communication is key to everything.
Hey, good evening, board members, family members. My name's David Noble, Marysville, Pennsylvania. Just have a couple of things to say. I'm kind of, just a little partial. So I just was noticing some things and looking at some things. I just want to talk about leadership. All right, I'm just going to address leadership 101. All right, so know a lot about leadership. Prior military, 26 years retired. All right, so leadership 101. Football coaches, I'm going to try to compare it to military. All right. So when you're in the military, a leader prepares their people to go into battle so they're physically and mentally ready to deal with anything that's coming their way. Okay? Let's put that for football. Okay? So football, a coach prepares their kids to be mentally and physically ready to play the game. All right? Because they have to be physically ready to take the hits that they take on that field. Okay, because if you're not in good shape, you're going to get hurt. They got to be mentally ready to be able to play under the pressure that they're going to be playing under, whatever team they're going to play. All right, it's a little bit different because in the military, you're life and death. Football, it's just a game. You know what I'm saying? Little different there. But from what I've seen from Coach Augie, from our last coach that we had, and we won't even talk about that. Okay, so. The kids came a long way under the leadership of Coach Augie that I've been seeing. He's been mentally and physically preparing them to win games, but making them better as he's doing this. And a coach is not there to be your best friend. All right, a leader is not there to be your best friend. A leader is there to make you successful. Okay, make the team successful. Because if the team fails, who fails? The coach, right? The coach fails once the teams fail. because the leader is overall responsible and accountable for everything that happens on that field and in real life. Okay? So when we're talking about reps, you know, I'm looking at this one little thing, no reps, no success. You know, you have to build muscle. You have to get physically prepared to go out there and play that game. If you're not physically prepared, if you're not showing up for practice and doing what you're supposed to do, just like in the military, we go over drills, same thing over and over. Instead, we have guns. These kids don't have guns, all right? They got you know, they got their physical body, and they got to be physically fit in order to do what they do on that field. And if they're not there, you know, how they're going to get like that is in the gym, you know, building themselves up, all right? I'm sure he's not yelling at just one person, okay? You know, if you mess up, yeah, you're going to get yelled at. Same thing in the military. You know, if you mess up, you're going to get yelled at. You take it and you move forward. You learn from the experience, watching those films. Hey, why'd you do that? Hey, why'd you do this? Hey, you got to get better at doing that, okay? And that's where the practicality comes in when they go into practice and they're looking at those films and they try to do what they saw. But if you don't have a coach that's doing that, then he's not a good leader. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see bullying. I don't see him doing anything like that at the games like our last coach did. I saw the last coach go crazy on the field all the time. Okay, because I was at those games. But what I'm seeing from Coach Augie is a big improvement than what we had before he got here. So that's all I just wanted to say. I just wanted to introduce a little bit of leadership and, you know, the kids about, you know, they got to be physically and mentally prepared for what they're going to encounter on that field. Because if not, guess what? They're going to get hurt. And we don't want that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Hello. I'm Nicole Goddard. I'm Trey Brown's mom. We're from Marysville. Trey has been playing football for the last 4 years. The last 2 years, Augie's been the coach. And I've just seen a vast improvement of him, even having the spirit to go on the field. He kind of got discouraged with past coaches that we've had prior to. And there's not a person you can talk to when they hear Augie's name. They don't say they say he's a great coach. You know, he has a passion for football. And it's just a shame because this whole thing, I don't understand why it's even here. It should have been addressed. It's football. Your kids are going to yelled at. When you go to the next level, if these kids want to go play high in college, it's going to be 100 times worse. And I feel like it's the generation that we have today. They're softer than they should be. But Augie does a great job with the program. I'm Harpla. And I really hope that you guys consider having him come back because it would be really detrimental to the program. I don't know. That's all I have.
All right. Louis Fresenda, I am current captain of the football team. I was captain of the football team last year. I also wrestle and I also do track. Senior this year. I think really big thing is the love and respect that I have for the man that's my head coach, Augie Glass. Nick Saban could walk into the front office right now and say, hey, I want to coach you. And I would say absolutely not, because I would rather play for Augie and these guys over anybody else. I've had my share of bad coaches. I've had my share of great coaches, and I can say he's one of the best. I can say he does love every single one of us, and he cares about every single one of us. And it does break my heart that some people take his emotion and love the wrong way. I love Wyatt. I do. With all my heart. No, I love him. Okay. I love my boys. I love my boys with all my heart. I don't know these coaches do too. It gets hard sometimes between us, between coaches. And that's a fact. That's every football team. That's every team. I think one thing to note is that nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not physically perfect. Spiritually, maybe I'm not perfect. But I care. I can say the same about Augie. One thing I can say about Augie is Friday night, that wasn't the same man that's been coaching me. And that's not just me. That's not the same man that's been coaching me the last year and now into this year. He was very stressed. Been very stressed. He barely sleeps. And that pertains to a lot of things that he's going through right now. But it doesn't make him any less of a good person, any less of a human being, because we all go through things. We all go through bad times. One thing that he could probably do better is communicate with us, with his coaches. Could you agree? Yeah. He could communicate better. I think it'd be better for the team, better for his mental health. We're here to talk to him. And that's just like players are here to talk to us. Nobody is alone on our football team. And for anyone to feel that way is absolutely unacceptable. But I can say that if someone's having an issue with a coach, with another player,